And boom, we are live. Welcome, welcome, one and all, to the Roach Warren podcast, episode 2, part 2. I am your host, RDG. Call me that, call me Relentless Doppelganger, call me whatever the fuck you like. It's great to see you all. Take a seat. We're gonna get into it. So, this is the second part of my conversation with none other than Maleficus, lead harpy demon straight out of hell from Slaughter the False Prophet. Big fan of the band. So I guess we should probably start by saying nice. I guess we should probably start by explaining why part 1 and part 2 are almost a month apart, which is kind of unusual. Why don't you give us a little bit of backstory on exactly what went wrong?
Basically, I didn't watch my battery, and my battery shut off and died on me completely while I was on the phone. And I assume from what you told me that flu season decided to go fuck you as well, and that's like what caused the whole month gap and everything. And yep, things have been going like crazy over here too, because my wife already has the flu and almost. Hopefully, she don't give it to me because I need to keep my vocals good.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize you were married, man. Congratulations. How long you been married for, dude?
I mean, I wouldn't call it like official married. We're common law married,
Oh, cool.
but uh, I consider myself married to her, and she considers herself married to me for like almost over a year currently. Because we've just been really close ever since like high school. Me and my ID boo.
Yeah,
Just
sorry, go on.
oh no, I just wish I dated her sooner instead of a bunch of whores. Excuse me.
No, I know exactly. No, I know. No, I know exactly. What I mean, there's a lot of a lot of toxic females out there. A lot of toxic men as well. But yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
no, not everybody's innocent. It's just like the chicks that I've dated. Yeah, no, I don't want to mess with them again. They were terrible. They were terrible.
Yeah. No, I get you, man. No, your story's quite similar to mine. Actually, I met my beautiful wife Emma when we were in high school, and we have been together for 16 years now. 16
Oh
years,
my
and
god.
yep, 16 years, 3 children, 2 cats, and a dog, and this lovely house that we managed to find. So yeah, it's pretty good, pretty fairy tale. Really doesn't usually work
Dude,
out that
I'm
way.
so happy for you.
Say that again, sorry.
I am so happy for you. I
Yeah,
am so
thank you,
happy for you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you,
Happy
man. I
for you.
appreciate it.
Right there, people say marriage is hard to find. I'm just saying, you know what? It's always in the oddest of places. Because like her and I after like high school, it actually like I never thought I would ever get with Addison ever after high school because high school was one of those times where I was kind of in the whore phase. Like I'd date one chick after another, but just the chicks I'd be dating, it's just terrible. I look back at them and I'm like, oh no, man. So how her and I got together, I guess, is because she was with a piece of shit human being who I'm not going to mention his name. Uh, basically, she doesn't want to be like told that she was in a relationship with him because he was a groomer. Basically, cheated, quote unquote, on him with me in a car. We had sex, and from there, like we just sparked it off right there. She ghosted me for 8 months after though because she just needed to work on herself after that. And one random day, it was like right after like I broke up with my ex who cheated on me. um, what? Oh, also worse with a 40-year-old nonetheless. And
Ouch, ouch.
yeah, I know. And it was just randomly on a Snapchat. I saw her story, and she said, "Oh, send me an emoji or something if you got my back." I sent her an emoji, and then we hit it off right back there. And ever since then, it's been like about 2 years now. We're happy as ever, and honestly, I would not take that chat back in an instant. I'm so happy with her.
No, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. It's good that that she was willing to work on herself a little bit before getting into a relationship, rather than trying to figure that out whilst maintaining a relationship. Because I see a lot of people making that mistake where they'll just get together, but they're just maybe meant for each other, but not meant for each other at that particular time. You know, both going through some toxicity, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So, no, I'm glad it worked out for you, man. I mean, I've got my my eldest son Josh. He's 15 and he's in high school right now. And high school is a turbulent time, like very very turbulent. I fucking hated high school. Could not stand it
Dude,
at all.
yeah, growing up, it feels like it took fucking forever.
Yeah.
I mean, even today, like, God, growing up it sucked. Like I could not ever enjoy like a single day of school where I just sat in the middle or the back or something and just watched the teacher just prattle on about pointless bullshit that I know I'm never going to use in my life. So, yep.
Yeah, I've been having this exact same conversation with my son. I mean, like, and I get that. I get why it's frustrating for people in high school, because a lot of the stuff that you have to learn it reasonably good to pass a test, blah 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 blah, to get the qualifications, blah blah blah, so on and so forth, to get the job that you want. But it must be soul destroying having to put a lot of effort into something that, one, you're not interested in, and two, you're never, like you said, you're never going to use that information ever. Like, you know, math and English and, you know, all that, being able to cook, all those types of things, they're important, but trigonometry, algebra, like, you know, figuring out that, you know, figuring out the theme of like a poem or something, like, you're not
I
you're not going to
mean,
use that.
never ever, excuse me for interrupting, by the way.
No,
Like
you're
I
okay,
said,
go ahead.
I agree with you completely. I could never ever see myself ever using that. Like,
Sure.
I don't know why they put that in schools. But then again, schools, in my personal opinion, are like a complete waste of time these days. And they train you so you can work long hours without like a break or anything.
Hmm.
At least from what I see, like condition you to work like in an office or to be breakless. Like I said, I mean, I just think the whole education system's bullshit. This ties in with my anti-government views.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't disagree. I mean, my son wants to do various different things, and unfortunately, you've kind of got to play the education game. Like, you've got to get the pass, the A plus, whatever you know, whatever you know,
Oh,
whatever
oh
you know,
yeah.
like, yeah, you have to do that to kind of even get into the running to do a lot of things. So, like, I'm trying to encourage him to do that, but like,
Oh, believe it or not, my dad, this fucking dude, flat out said I could never be a singer unless if I went to the music class, right? Because if I sing, I'm destroying my chords. And look where I'm at now. And I never joined a single music class. I'm still doing vocals to this day. He doesn't like them. I don't give a fuck, to be
mhm.
honest. And I'm just like I said, like if he wants to do like a certain thing, my best advice to anybody is study and like grasp what you want and actually go for it. Because most people fail by not by not doing anything. Because I know, like, at my work, this dude who's like fucking brilliant at basketball, but he has talent, but like it doesn't mean shit because he works at a fucking gas station. You know, you have to like attain what you want and go for it. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, trust me, it took me like a long time to actually find people like Alex Sevigny to help me with Slaughter the False Prophet, and so I could just fucking go for it, you know?
it's difficult to chase your dreams when when like a lot of your time is spent, working just to kind of keep the
Oh,
lights on and keep the food coming in and all that, and then you've also got to like, sleep and eat and shit and do all that type of stuff, and then by the end of it you're like, I don't know if I'm feeling very creative at the moment because I'm fucking exhausted, I got to get ready for a night shift or something.
it's all right. I got like 6 years of writing to work back on. So, yep. I came with this whole band idea, like I said, like around 2016, my sophomore year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, actually, not my sophomore year. That's my freshman year. But yeah, it's like the whole rent thing and everything. I really didn't think I'd be this hectic on work after cutting my parents off. Like, bro, I'm like, shit, man. I didn't know I had it easy. Oh well. I'm still happy nonetheless because like I know eventually Slaughter the False Prophet will come back. I'm planning on it next year.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot more black metal influences will be into it. Me and Alex, we already discussed it, and I'm just pumped to see what everybody will say about what I'm gonna put, especially towards the black and deathcore genre as a whole.
Yeah, no, can't wait to hear it, review it, react to it, shout it out, do all that type of shit. I'll support you guys. Um, if you don't mind me asking, and feel free to just like cut straight past it, but you said you cut your parents off.
Oh yeah.
Any like is that too personal to get into, or is
I
that
mean,
something?
I really personally, I'm willing to say it. Like they were controlling. They were controlling
Right.
as fuck. They like my merch, for example, like the upside down cross right here. Like they'll flat out assume like that I'm a Satanist and that I worship the devil and that I want to kill babies or and all this stupid shit. And my dad, he's like the conspiracy theory type. Like
Oh,
he
right.
has
Okay.
these conspiracy theories that like apparently a projector destroyed 9/11 or some stupid shit. Um, the only conspiracy theory that I personally believe in is that the government, like around the whole world, is all secretly one government, but they attack each other just for the rich people to just have some popcorn and enjoy the chaos. And once the other company fixes it, they want to bond people to a whole one world government. And if the Bible exists, something will happen. If not, then we're all fucked, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that
Conspiracy
kind of
theories. Sorry. Go on.
oh, sorry. That kind of ties in with my whole spirituality because, like, I'm not gonna lie, just think looking at like all the shit that's going on with the world and everything and reading the Bible and what it foretold, it kind of gets me wondering, like, could this all be fucking real? Like, what the
Mm.
fuck, dude? And the fact that it was foretold 2,000 years ago is what's fucking me in the head right now. I'm kind of like, like I said, right now I'm, well, not like I said, but you know my point. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm currently like in an existential crisis just because I read the book of Revelation not too long ago and I'm comparing it to today and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No. 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 I get you. Yeah. There's. So. Yeah. Yeah. Parents are tricky. I mean, like, and I can say that because I'm a parent. You know what I mean? So like, I can speak from that perspective. It's difficult to it's difficult to figure out exactly how much freedom you should give your children without them making some really, really like bad decisions that can affect the entirety of their life. But also trying to like, giving them the opportunity to actually like, learn. But I think I remember on the last part of the podcast, you say that your parents were kind of like conservative Christian or at least born again
Yeah.
Christian?
They were, my parents at least, my stepmother and my father. My mother, I don't know much about her because like I haven't spoken to her in a while.
Okay.
But my mother, my stepmom, and my dad. My dad is a radical Christian.
Okay.
He's a radical conservative. Like he thinks Donald Trump is the savior of this country, and yada yada yada. Misa, she's somewhat there, but she's not fully there. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, it's like not. I don't know the whole couple thing, but with them, all I will say about them is that I'm just happy I'm out of that situation. I mean, they can think of me as a Satanist or a child killer all the fuck they want. I mean, they initially what caused like the whole boom that happened with all of us is because they didn't want me to date my wife, Addison. And it's just like after like all the fucking control and the monetization on my phone, because believe it or not, the dude had like an app on my phone just so he could watch all my texts and shit. I just I just got fed up with it. And I told him I'm done. I'm leaving. And he got all pissed off. I had all the shit packed in the truck. I moved it like a day before, I told him, and I said, there's nothing you can do to stop me. And I turned off my location on my phone. I cut the Verizon account from my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I left.
Yeah, you
And
can't.
then,
Yeah, you
oh,
you
wait.
can't. No, sorry, no. I was just going to say you can't. You can't live under those conditions. You know, human beings, even if you're living under your parents' roof, and you're, technically a child, you can't. That's like living in fucking North Korea. You know, not having any
Oh,
privacy at all to send text messages. Like, eventually, that will just drive you completely bonkers. Like, you'll lose your mind. So, I don't blame you for getting out of there, man. It was the right thing to do.
like, I mean, he wanted to know, like, for example, if I wanted to hang out with my homie Joey, I'd take a bullet for that motherfucker any day. He
Right.
would want to know all the fucking details. What we were doing, what time were we gonna do this, yada yada yada. And I'm sitting here like, what's the point of knowing all that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna hang out with Joey. There's no problem with that. We're not gonna do anything illegal. I guess one thing he thought, he was one of those motherfuckers who was crazy enough to think that video games cause like school shootings and shit like that, which kind of,
Oh, he's one of them. Okay.
yeah. He thought just because I played rated M video games that like I would go out and go do stupid shit. I mean, I played a game called Jaws Unleashed when I was a kid, which was like the most violent game in my head that I could think of when I was playing. But the last time I checked, I don't try to go underwater, pretend I'm a shark, and just try to bite people's legs off or their fingers off or some stupid shit.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're so right, man. You're so right. No, um, my son's got a girlfriend. He's actually been with her for over a year now, and we're friendly with like her family. Really cool family. She's she's a super good influence on Josh. She comes over the house a lot and hangs out and all that, and she's had a couple of her friends have came over to say hello and all that type of stuff, and she's got this one friend that lives in a very similar environment that you were in, where parents are super controlling, all that type of stuff. But what actually happens is, in my experience, is that you actually make these you encourage children to act out because they don't get to do it in a healthy way. So if it's a kind of, you're not allowed to have a beer, you're not allowed to even be in the same vicinity as someone smoking weed, you can't be around this person, you can't drink fizzy, but you can't drink soda, whatever. Every single time, and my son's yeah,
I mean,
every time my son's girlfriend come yeah, every time my son's girlfriend comes over, she says that her friend goes absolutely ham whenever she gets a chance to do anything. Like, she's not even allowed to eat candy, so she stuffs her fucking face with it. No, seriously, dude. Like, it's so, and like I understand it to a degree, I get where parents are coming from with that because, you know, you want to look after your kids, but your kids are only kids for a very short period of time. Like, once you get to like 18, 19, 20, you're an adult and you're going to be a train wreck because you're just going to be like, yes, fucking freedom. Yeah, fantastic. You know, fantastic. Let's do some coke. Let's do this. Let's do the other, you know, and it's, you know.
I thought freedom was actually good, but sometimes I do miss the security and comfort and all that,
Sure,
and
of
I
course.
could secretly do Slaughter the False Prophet without them knowing. But but now that I'm free, although I'm struggling, I'm happier than ever. Like, I'm genuinely like a lot happier that I don't have to worry about coming home every night from like going out and chilling or drinking a little bit of alcohol before driving. No, don't try that. Don't try
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And just overall, I'm just happy that I can actually be me without being like judged or talked shit on whenever I get home. Like, oh my god, dude! Getting out of that home is like a stress reliever. Believe it or not, before you and I had this call, they were I was gonna just be nice. I wanted to tell them because I opened up a little bit of communication since then.
Okay.
Tell them that I finally signed up for a welding application over here in one of the trade schools where I'm going to be working there for like 5 years straight. They're going to teach me everything welding knowledge, like pipe fitting and everything, like plumbing, even too. You name it.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations, man. Good move.
Oh, dude, yeah. I might post about it later.
Yeah.
But then my dad makes this snood comment saying, "Oh, well, you could have done that at HEB when I worked over there." And I'm like, you can't just tell me that you're proud of me or some shit. Like, come on now.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
And
you can't. You can't just say congratulations, proud of you, son. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
yeah, like dude. Okay, I really don't like putting personal shit on, but I'ma just say this: it would never fucking say he's proud of me ever.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of like my whole bitterness towards like my family
Sure.
is that he just never seemed to honestly give a shit, which is why honestly I had no feelings towards cutting him off because like he just genuinely like it just seemed like he didn't fucking care and shit like that. He
Yeah.
constantly led me to his wife instead of talking to him. He didn't even want to form a relationship with me, even though I came to Big Spring specifically just to do that with him. And just after that, it's after now that I'm sitting here, I feel like I wasted 5 years, but genuinely no, because I met the most beautiful fucking awesome woman in the whole world right here. So yeah,
Yeah.
although I wasted 5 years with him, I'm just glad I could start something that makes me happy.
Yeah, it's all part of the journey as well, dude. Like, try not to think about it as a waste because, you know, you now have this wisdom about how to, you know, not do what he did as a father or didn't do
Yeah.
as a father. You know what I mean? Then, you know, like if the day comes when you have some kids, you know, you need that, you know, like
Well, I'm
I imagine it does feel like a waste, but you know, maybe we try not to think about it too much like that. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you are who you are right now, and you seem to be doing a pretty fucking good job, man. So
Yeah, just slowly getting back up there so I can actually start making music again, which I promise will be next year. Because like I said, I got over 20 songs I gotta make next year. So it's
mm,
gonna be fucking crazy.
yeah,
But I guess I'm about them. I'm sad about it somewhat,
sure,
but I'm happy about it because like it's just like I said, it just seemed like he never fucking cared. And he never whenever I did like an accomplishment, like for example, in high school, around my junior class, he knew I had a problem with algebra. Like I am not smart with like algebra. I'm good with like simple multiplication, division,
hmm
basic shit. But algebra fucks me up. And whenever I got finally a passing grade, which was like a fucking a C at that time, he basically just looked at me sternly and said, "Oh, you could do better." And honestly, I think now, actually, now that I'm speaking about this, if my son honestly was, or my daughter was to ever go through something like that, I'd say that I'm proud of them. I'd give them a hug, take them out for a beer, celebrate with them, but tell them, hey, you know what? If you do better, I'll fucking give you 5 beers or some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, or if it was something I disagree with, such as them like throwing around gang signs, because hey, the kids of this generation,
Yeah.
I would simply I'd talk to them and say, if you want to get something like we related, then honestly, I'm just not going to financially support you on that. You need to do that yourself.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I want them to be independent, but also be mature about it. You know, like
Yeah.
be somewhat, I guess, somewhat controlling a little bit, but not too much. Like the radical controlling.
Yeah, I mean those like there is a tendency that kind of like older guys have towards like sometimes it feels like your father or your mother, but mostly your father. They're kind of like, they've got that kind of stoic thing where it looks like they really don't give a shit. And in some situations, they might not give a shit, but in other situations, it's just that they just don't know how to express it because they had the exact same relationship with their father. That doesn't excuse it. Like, that doesn't excuse it. It's not like, it doesn't make anything any better, but yeah, it's an important detail. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to change for your kids, who the fuck are you willing to change for then, eh?
It just really tells me, like, honestly, not to sound depressed or nihilistic or suicidal, but why even have kids? Why even give me life in the first place?
Yeah.
Because he constantly complained about his father and how his father chose his own friends over his kids and family. But I'm sitting here like, are you really that much different after all? Because you're willing to give your attention to a step parent over your own blood.
Yeah.
So are you really that different?
Yeah. Yeah.
I even
Exactly.
told him on a text message that you're no different than your own father, dude.
No, I mean it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't sound like he is at all. I'm fortunate enough to have a pretty solid relationship with my mum and my dad and my stepdad. Actually, I'm much closer with my stepdad for various
That's good.
various
That's really
various
good.
different reasons. Yeah, my stepdad's he's an awesome dude. Um, but yeah, yeah, like going back to like the kind of like having to like cut people out to kind of like better yourself. That happened to me because I mean, like, obviously if you do the math, me and Emma was 16 when she had when she got pregnant with her son Josh. I was like 17,
Oh,
18 or something like that. So we were like, the youngest of young parents. And I had a pretty tight friend group. Used to skate with them a lot, hang out, smoke weed, blah 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 blah, do all that teenager stuff.
do the good shit.
And they just, yeah, the good shit. And then they just could not get round the idea of me spending less time with them and being a responsible parent and kind of not just wanting to like hang out and stuff. And they were kind of making it like quite difficult for me to actually maintain my relationship with Emma and be a father and stuff. So I thought, fuck you guys are getting cut. And they got cut, and I've never spoke to them again. And like, it sucks because I spent a lot of my formative years with these people. We shared quite a lot. We had a lot of good fun. We kind of all like came up together in the same, in the same group. The same crew. It stings in the short term, but like, I kind of think, like, what would it be like to still have these people in my life? What would it be like to try and maintain friendships with these people? Because I look at a lot of them. Some of them have had kids and they've done okay, but a lot of them are still doing the same shit.
The
Literally
same.
same shit. Like, and not nothing new at all. They're just doing the same stuff, and I'm thinking like, well, I don't even want to associate myself because I represent my family. now. You know what I mean? So if I make a decision, it can go back on my family. I don't want to. I don't want to encourage my kids to have those kind of toxic friendships and kind of keep that just because we grew up together, so we should stay homies. Like no, that's bullshit. I
Yeah.
don't think that works.
The reason why I consider my friend list to be small, because I have like two main brothers that I talk to. I call them my
Mhm.
brothers because we've formed a bond
Yeah,
over 4 years. We don't text every day, but whenever we see each other, it's full on love.
sure.
The friends who, in my eyes, you should keep are friends who are there to make you happy.
Yeah,
Like Joey, although like I don't know what happened between him and my wife, they had an argument or something. He still respects the relationship.
hmm
Like he still wholeheartedly respects the relationship. He puts his anger for her on the side. He puts his political views and bullshit like that on the side.
hmm
So we could all just hang out and go watch the new shitty Halloween movie that came out.
right.
Or some shit like that. Buy me dinner and hey, I'll pay you back. We'll do this next time. Like we're we're pretty cool. Like we've gone like pretty deep with our personal lives together. Like he when I got kicked out from my parents' house, he was the only dude, and so was Omar, to give me a place to rest my head, and so is my wife. So honestly, I would say with this that I would take a bullet for both of those homies.
Yeah, yeah. I've got the same deal going on. My best friend Aiden. I met him when I was 10 years old, and I'm 34 now. So we've been homies for like 24, 25 years. And the reason I can trust him is because when shit got really bad in my life, having a kid young is not easy. Lots of
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
I mean, like, obviously it's not easy because you're still a kid yourself, but he was
Believe it
there
or
through
not.
the yeah, he was there through the peaks, the valleys. He was there when I was being a dick. He was there when I was being cool, and I've been there for him as well. So it's kind of like the loyalty has been tested,
Uh-huh.
so
Yeah.
I can actually trust this guy.
But
Yeah.
the whole having the kid young thing, what was it like?
What was it like? Well,
Besides the chaos, what was it like?
it was. I mean, it was terrifying at first. It was really, really scary. It was very scary. We didn't know what we wanted to do. I'm pro-choice.
Mhm.
So whenever you get yourself into that situation, you've kind of always got yourself to ask yourself that question. Like, you've got to think. Is it responsible to bring a child into this world? Can I actually, not only love it, because love is, in a lot of ways, love's the easy part,
Love,
but it's the
love
going
is
to work.
that's like required, not
Yeah,
for. But the reason why I ask you this is because this ties in a lot with my self hatred. When her and I had sex, I impregnated her,
right.
and she got pregnant. She got beat by the dude and raped by the dude, and
Oh,
my daughter was born. And for 2 weeks she lived, then she died,
oh, Jesus, man, I'm
and
so sorry to hear that.
I never got to met her. And just thinking that it breaks me, you know.
Yeah,
And fuck, I don't know how to put it into words. I just well, the piece of shit of just the good ending. He's in jail for 109 years, and since he was in jail for like pedophilia and other shit like that, more than likely, knowing inmates, they're eating his ass every fucking day.
he's
So
not having a good
I
time, that's for sure.
yeah, all I'm gonna say is I'm happy for that. I don't
Right.
want I'm not gonna give his name out
No.
because the piece of shit deserves to wallow in fucking irrelevance.
Yeah.
But I was actually thinking about writing a song about her and doing like a full-on depressing type of song, not just for looks and shit, but just to
Yeah.
pent out all my fucking anger and hatred because of my in control of the situation.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just takes me to a dark place. So my
Yeah.
apologies for the whole interview just going, oh.
No, 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 not at all, man. Don't apologize. Express yourself. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. That is, that is supremely shit, and you didn't deserve it. Um,
I mean, I don't even know why. It's just like, I know I have not met her, but when I'm at work or whenever I'm at a random place, like I just hold back tears because I just wish I could have met her, and I
sure.
miss her, even though I never met her.
Even though you never met her, yeah, yeah, no,
Mm.
I can't. I can't relate to that 100%, but me and Emma have had a couple of miscarriages along the way, and
Mm.
that's it's kind of a similar feeling because there was no baby, there was no personality. You didn't even get to know the little, didn't even get to know the little critter, but your mind starts to wander towards like, what if, if Emma hadn't
Oh,
had that miscarriage, that would be like, a 5-year old running around. What's that 5-year old gonna do? So those thoughts are always, yeah. Like, I mean, it's this kind of ties back in with with what we were talking about just before, with people trying to protect their kids too much, not letting them eat candy, not letting them smoke weed, blah 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 blah, have these types of friends. You're setting your children up for a fall because life is really fucking difficult. Like
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 no
I
matter
like
what,
yeah.
no matter what, like I mean,
Yeah,
look at me right now. I'm struggling for fuck's sake.
yeah, I mean, and even if it's you know everything went your way, great childhood, you got the job you want and all that type of stuff, these types of
Wait,
things,
you're gonna pull
these
up.
really heartbreaking things, they happen. So trying to protect your children, you're raising adults that are not going to be able to withstand the eventual heartbreak that is life, because it's just a fact. That's not me speaking from
Mhm.
depression. It's just, that's an actual fact that you're gonna, things are gonna get really, really upsetting, to put it mildly. So yeah, I've never been a big fan of trying to, you wanna, I can't remember where the quote comes from, but it's something along the lines of, "Don't pray for a simple life, pray for the strength to withstand a difficult one." I think it might be in like Bruce Lee or something like that. Like, I really like that, because that I heard that and that stuck with me. I think about that every day because, yeah, it's things are gonna get shitty, so you better make sure that you're raising some resilient kids, especially now as well. Like, just with the way everything is, you
Because
want
I
your
mean,
you yeah
like where everybody gets offended at something.
yeah
If you even make a band and you make some counter cultural type of things, you can get canceled on Twitter
yeah
or some shit like that. I mean, this ties with Slaughter the False Prophet and why, like, I mean, for example, Rituals of Sin. I mean, it has fucking the hard R word in like the center part of the
hmm
picture, incest and all that bad shit.
hmm
Um, I joined the metal community because of the freedom of it.
hmm
Although, like, for example, the black metal community has having Nazis,
yep
I listened to some of their stuff, and like you said, like with the whole blackened term, the feeling of it,
hmm
I think some of them, although I do not agree with them at all about their message, I think some of them sound and they feel pretty fucking good.
hmm
I also listen to a lot of like other subjects of metal, and like I said, the reason why I like the black metal scene the most out of all the genres is because of the freedom there.
yeah
And that's why with deathcore, like I really wonder what it could be like when it's like free and stuff. I know deathcore, like it used to have that freedom mindset, but ever since like the SJWs and shit started joining, it just went downhill slowly. I personally believe and this ties in with the whole blackened deathcore. It like blackened that part right there. I might get a lot of flack for saying this, but to me, the black part is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, it is misanthropy. It is anti-religious. It is hatred. It is like anti-human to a whole bunch of levels.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why my lyric writing would be crazy or blasphemous or hectic these days.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, like I said, I really just think a political ideologies shouldn't be enforced on people, especially in places where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Which is why the whole black metal scene, I don't know what they're doing nowadays, because like I listen to old shit compared to new shit. But like I said, my opinion, don't force your political ideologies. Just don't. Extreme music and extreme ideologies are part of the same coin.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some shit. Yeah, I've definitely got some shit to say on that. But I wanna rewind just a little bit if I can remember what it was. Yeah, that's it. That was one of the things that actually attracted me most to kind of like the. I mean, there wasn't really a deathcore scene like in the tiny towns and rural Scotland where I grew up. But the thing that I always liked, there was these little independent gigs that they would do. They would bring on like 4 or 5 bands and people would just hang out and stuff like that. And what I really liked about it was how inclusive it was. There was people, there was kind of like gothy emo guys like me, there was punks, there was the typical Iron Maiden fans with like like the patchwork.
40-year-olds with like that Iron Man shirts with the beer in the right hand, or
Yep.
some shit like that
That
at the show.
there was everything. There was even people that just came along and didn't like the music. They just liked how chill everyone was. It was so accepting. People were just like, "Yeah, come along, come party."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that was the thing that really got me into it. I was like, "This is fucking awesome." There's just like there's just it's so inviting, and everyone's just here to have a nice time, and it doesn't really. No one gives a fuck where you're from, how much money you make, how what socioeconomic bracket you fall into. It's like let's just jump in the pit, let's get sweaty, let's fucking get high, let's chat some shit, and let's just enjoy this, even if you don't like the music, and that really captured me, and that feeling has never really gone away, because I still feel that that's the case now. I would say that the extreme metal community is still pretty open-minded, willing to try new things and stuff. So
I mean, the only site that I know you said you didn't want to mention names, but one of the sites that makes me disagree with that is a site called Metal Sucks, and the guy who followed. Like, trust me, I will flat out bluntly say I am anti SJW and I'm anti the anti-fascists or whatever the fuck they call themselves, because those people, they try to force their fucking ideologies on everything. Even in deathcore, I've gotten some messages of people fucking talking shit just because of my lyrics and the mentioning of rape or some shit like that in there. And I'm not doing it just to be fucking edgy like what most people say, even though black metal is a heavily edgy subject.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it to just tell everybody that fucking I hate the world, dude. It's simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not going to say too much on it, but like I'm not a big fan of the SJWs. I'm not a big fan of the of all of that. I don't think a lot of people are big fans of that, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, it has for me a lot of the bands that I feature, promote, whatever you want to call it. They have differing political and social opinions from me. What I'm but I'm willing to just look past that.
Oh, exactly.
Their lyrics can be this way. They can support blah blah blah. They can support blah blah blah. Like, you know, like I don't like the like I don't like the politics of Rage Against the Machine, but that doesn't stop me jamming Bulls on Parade, you know, frequently. You know, like it's like I'm here for the music. That's kind of I want to keep
Oh,
that. That's the spirit that I want to keep going. It's like, yeah, left, right, center, up, down, wherever the you know wherever the fuck you like this, you don't like that. Okay, but let's just it's just art, you know. And
yeah,
when you're
it's just
talking
raw
and like
art.
yeah, and like and like when you were talking about like you know some of like the you know the quote unquote edgy things that like you know Slaughter the False Prophet, Infant Annihilator, a lot of slam bands they talk about you know a lot of mad stuff. It's like but no one but it's it's weird that you'll get people that make horror movies that depict some of the most brutal fucked up shit like Hostel and Saw. Like those movies are insane, but no one ever goes well not frequently anyway no one ever goes oh god so you must actually promote that type of stuff, you must be you know you must like torturing people because you write blah 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 blah. And it's like no, it just doesn't happen. But there's a weird thing where if you do it in music, people automatically assume that you're fucked up in some way. But
Like
it's
endorse
very,
or
yeah, it's very
fucked up.
strange. Yeah, it's
And
very strange.
I will say, like I said, the only person that I would want to do something like that to is the guy who murdered my daughter.
Well,
That's the only
sure.
person who I would consider doing what my lyrics say to. But
That's understandable.
other than that, I wouldn't try to enforce it upon anybody else.
No,
Why, why would I want to do that to somebody?
no,
Unless, like I said, that happened.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just the best way to do it. Like you can appreciate the hustle, you can appreciate the work that someone's doing. You may not agree with literally everything, but as long as you just keep it about the music, and as long as it's you know, as long as it because there's not the same amount of gatekeeping I find in deathcore as there is in other genres. But I would hate for people to gatekeep based on um, political
Are you
views.
sure?
Like that would be really. I'm fairly sure. I'm
Uh,
fairly sure, but
I mean,
we
I
can get
mean,
into that.
because here's like I said, what I showed you about like the whole blackened definition that I have. I guess in a form that's somewhat my communication or to gatekeeping myself is
Hmm.
that I don't know what it is, but just ever since like I listened to Leviathan and I got into like the old school black metal and like where it formed from, I can't get into the positive vibe for the whole black metal scene. I just can't. Like
Right.
it's to me black metal what it I believe black metal is what it originally was anti-mainstream fucking hatred and just all of that. And like what like the Lorna Shore, the whole Pain Remains thing, I could not get into it. Like because it did not endorse the suicide like they originally did. And it just that took everything away from me. Like when you call yourselves blackened and you don't have any of that negative vibe to go along with it, it turns me off completely. And
Yeah.
it's not to discredit the musician, it's just a personal thing to me. Like ever since getting into black metal, and I trust me, I listen to black metal more than I listen to deathcore.
Hmm.
But when you call yourselves again blackened deathcore, and with all the positivity in it, again, it a personal preference. It just turns me off. I won't insult the music. What the fuck is that dog doing? I won't insult the musicians or berate their music. It's just it just turns me off.
Yeah.
You know.
Uh, yeah. I was reading. I was reading. I think the Wikipedia on black metal, and I was looking at how like it's kind of changed over time. And there was. I think I heard the term white metal or gray
Yeah,
metal. Yeah.
a white. That's like black metal, but Christian ideology.
Yeah. And I don't. It's an interesting subject for me because it really there's so many things that can be called blackened, but I think if you take out the anti-establishment, the nihilism, the the bleakness and the kind of anti-Christian Satan parts of black metal, I don't know if you can really call it black metal anymore. I think black metal is a lot more than just tremolo picking and keys and shrieked vocals. I think there's more to it than just the music.
I mean, black metal is supposed to be like the lowest part of like the underground, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be that way for a reason. Like, it is completely anti-mainstream. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how. Oh, excuse me, man. I should not be eating these right now.
No, go
Spicy
for it,
shit.
dude. No, you're
But
cool, man. Go for it.
um, I don't know how Behemoth got up to mainstream, but whatever. All I know is the old Behemoth, black metal Behemoth. I know they for a fact wouldn't. The black metal is considered unlistenable because like all it really is like pure fucking hatred in like
Yeah.
instrumental form. Crazy ass like guitar riffs and drumming quick and loud shriek screaming, almost sounding like the strangulated howls of the devil
Yeah.
and shit like that. And that's
Yeah.
what I would like to portray with Slaughter the False Prophet, which is hatred, ambience, and the left-handed path. Well, not Laban Satanism, but just like anger, ferociousness, and just crazy shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I mean, for balance, you can kind of like harness a blackened sound, but make it a little bit more uplifting. Now again,
I
maybe
mean,
that.
Worm Shepherd. Worm
Well,
Shepherd.
Worm Shepherd are a great example of that. Lorna are quite a good example of that as well. And one of my favorite Lorna Shore tracks. It was when CJ was still in the band. One of the singles that they released. It was definitely blackened. It had blackened guitar playing, blackened drumming, all that type of stuff. But the landscape that it created, the vibe that it created, could not be more different than bands like, I don't know, Immortal,
Immortal.
like Dark Throne, all those types of bands. The landscapes were just totally different, but you can maybe still call it blackened. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's an open question. It's an open question for me. It's an interesting one, but yeah.
I wonder what song you're talking about now. Because, like, the whole Immortal album, the only song that I could grasp out of it being, like, I guess, positive would be Immortal. Because it's basically just about releasing your soul and becoming fully immortal, I guess. I never got the whole lyrical analysis of it.
Yeah, it's not really it's not so much in the lyrics, it's more just in the sound of the sound of the ambience, I guess. I'm just on my phone here trying to. Yeah, Immortal. That's the exact one. That chorus is kind of like yeah, uplifting. There you go. That's exactly the word. It's a bit more uplifting. So it's weird. It's strange. Whenever I think of like uplifting, black and deathcore, that usually sounds symphonic to me. That's sometimes I think that when bands call themselves black and deathcore, they mean symphonic, where they,
because
where
like
they
that's
realize it or not.
that I wonder like about black and deathcore is that it's most people just put symphonies into it, and it's that doesn't make it black. And like I said,
No.
that this is where my gatekeeping comes in. Like, where's the hatred? Where's the speed? The fucking just visceralness, or hell, even if you really want to make it slow, There's also another genre in the black metal scene itself called depressive suicidal blackened metal,
Yeah,
which,
I've heard of that. Yeah.
believe it or not, a Levi. I personally, this is why black metal is my favorite, is because they portray emotion so well within their music. It can go from hatred to melancholy to just pure out fucking devastatingly sad.
Mm.
Like, there, the Leviathan, hands down, is my favorite band of all time.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because I never cried to anything metal ever. Full on, never anything. But the one song by Jeff that he made, there's actually two songs called "Wicked Fields of Calm," which was in his newest album. Just how beautiful that song is.
Hmm.
It made me shed a tear, believe it or not. And the
Yeah.
second song made me full on cry, and it was
Yeah.
just me thinking about my daughter at the time too. And that song is called "Unending Fall Unto Naught," which was like, he made it sound fucking sad yet visceral at the same time. I don't even know how you can get that, but he got it,
Yeah.
and it had me bawling like a baby for a while, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And like I said, I never would ever think that I would cry to metal, but that is what got me there. No music in the history of music ever made me cry, except for Leviathan, which is why I hold Leviathan to such a high standard. And honestly, I'm depressed as fuck because Jeff Whitehead in like 8 days is supposed to be tattooing in Austin, and I don't have money, and I don't have a car, and I have a car. I could go over there, but god damn it, I'm like, fuck, I got work here. Fucking, why do I live here? Right?
Yeah. No,
He's
it's tough,
right.
man.
He's just right over here.
Let let me let me yeah, let me go back to gatekeeping, because I think there's a
Okay.
chance that
Not,
I think there's a chance that we might be talking past each other here a little bit. We might have two different definitions here.
if I feel like I changed the subject, my apologies. It's just like I ask Kiss Leviathan a lot, dude.
No, 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 no,
There's
no.
I could give for that, man.
Yeah, no apology necessary, man. The conversation goes where it goes. Just be you. Give me 1 second. My fridge is right there. Just gonna go and get a drink. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
Boom. Get when I talk about gatekeeping, what I mean is that there are people within that scene that will stop other people getting into the music, or say that you can't be
Oh,
a part of that scene. That's what I mean when I say gatekeeping.
that's what I call that. I call that metal elitism, because
Right.
that I specifically remember when Zaster was first making his depressive suicidal black metal album. It was such a new thing at the time that the elites were shitting on him like fucking crazy for it. He still released it, and he's still considered one of the best black metal musicians of all time because of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the people who, like, flat out are just assholes to you.
Yeah.
Just because you want to, I guess, include a different thing, or just try something different, or want to get into it. I don't know. It's those kinds of people I don't like. But my type of elitism is, I guess, the whole ideology of black metal and
Yeah.
blackened in general. And in my opinion, positivity, it should not belong in black metal, in my opinion.
Yeah. I was having this. I was having a conversation with my dad a while back, and we were talking about, because he's a huge, he was like a punk guy in the UK, Sex Pistols, Ramones, all those types of bands. He's a
Oh,
massive punk fan. And we were talking, and for me, positive black metal would be like pro open market, pro government, pro conservative values being in a punk band. It just doesn't work. The riffs might be punk, production, the mix, the tunings, it all might be punk. But if the Sex Pistols were talking about how much they liked the right wing government and how much they liked capitalism and stuff, I just don't know if it would not have had the same impact at all. And I think that's kind of that's very, very similar to black metal. Like it's one of the core concepts of it is it's supposed to be bleak. So if it's not bleak, in what way can you really, And it's quite crazy as well, because like punk is definitely a thing. There's ways to write punk music. Like there's no doubt about it. It's not like a silly genre that just kind of sounds like everything else. But it is mad that you could just change even just the tone of the lyrics, sing them the same way, do everything, but the spirit of punk would be completely lost, just totally lost by just singing about different things. I find that shit fascinating.
Exactly. It's the spirit of the black metal that diminishes to me. That's my only gripe with Worm Shepherd. Worm Shepherd, they have it like correct, but just like the tone of it, it just like the atmosphere, it has this positive energy that, to me at least, I don't like it, but I love Worm Shepherd because Worm Shepherd brings this Wolves of the Throne Room type of vibe. And when I read this guy's lyrics, I know he's trying to make like a mythology out of Norse mythology, which honestly I think a Norse black metal band would be bleak as fuck, especially with how brutal the world was back then.
Yep, it would.
I guess my opinion on like the black metal scene as a whole is it's just a watered down joke of what it used to be. The whole reason why I don't like listening to the new black metal of today is because like most of it is just positive shit and it lacks the spirit and essence of what the original black metal was, which was supposed to be chaotic evil. And that's what I again wanted to invoke with my band, which was chaotic evil. And people, I don't even know why I got a lot of people liking my shit, and it's because like I say what the fuck I say, and I get compared to a lot of black metal bands, such as Leviathan. I got compared to Mayhem, I believe, on my last post on Instagram, and as I honestly get flattered each time I read them because I'm like, gee, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not surprised at all that people are digging your shit. I would be surprised if people didn't like it. Yeah, the black metal scene for me. There's a YouTube channel called Black Metal Worldwide, and and I listen to black metal promotions. Excuse me.
Yeah, have like 300,000 subscribers. Have all sorts of black metal albums, from positive to negative to full on chaotic on there.
Yeah,
if you actually look.
They've got some like atmospheric doomy style like black metal as well, which I really fucking like. I think doom and black metal go so well together.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to have like a good blackened doom sludge death metal band, you should look up Primitive Man. Those guys are pretty fucking good with their
Primitive
tones.
Man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll keep that. I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, it seems to be that like if black metal promotions can upload like 3 new albums a day from black metal bands all around the world, I would say that the black metal community is still thriving. It's still producing it's still producing things. I do like a lot of it, but one of my personal. I don't know. I wouldn't say dislike. It's a personal stylistic choice. But when I listen to just run of the mill black metal band just released something on promotions, fucking loved it. But it doesn't sound that different than stuff that was being released in the 90s and the early 2000s. Not the production's a little bit better, but it's still the same stuff. They're not trying anything new. I think that's kind of like that is something that is just a part of a purist genre of music like black metal. There's not much room for experimentation before you're not a black metal band anymore. So I get it. It's one of the things that I like about it, but kind of paradoxically, it's one of the things that I don't know if I could really spend all day listening to black metal, basically, even new stuff, you know.
Wholeheartedly agree right there. And the deathcore scene is kind of having the same issue right now with everybody playing the fuck off of each other.
Yeah.
Not trying to insult everybody, but just like most of the shit, it just sounds the fucking same. And that's why I think I got a lot of people flocking towards Slaughter at some points, is because like we actually like put negativity within our music, and we do it like in a style but close, but not too close to black metal, and the ambience too and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I never thought I'd be compared to Fred Nihilist from you personally. I never thought I'd be compared to him ever.
You've got there's similarities. Yeah, I need to listen to his new stuff. I'm gonna react to his
I gotta
new
catch
stuff.
up. I gotta catch up to his stuff because like I said, I've been like on like nothing but like a black metal trade, because like I've been going on Jeff's profile and looking at all the black metal recommendations he's doing, and I'm trying to find whatever record label they all come from, because they're all kick ass nowadays. Like they're old style, but the tones of them and like the riffs and stuff, they make it to me at least feels new, which is why I like his stuff that he recommends. I mean,
Yeah.
Jim Whitehead, he's the guy behind Leviathan. Note for anybody who didn't know.
There's two black metal bands that I really like at the moment. They're like underground. I featured them on my channel before. One's called Aldor Freya. Yeah, Aldor Freya. They're from the UK, I think. I think they're in England somewhere, like way like in the middle of England. Aldor Freya, they capture the black metal essence perfectly. Their new single, The Hag. I did a reaction to that.
Yeah. Yes, I knew they sounded familiar.
Yeah, I love Aldor Freya. Yep. Yeah, I love Aldor Freya. Yeah, I think they're in the process of releasing some new stuff. But their album, from before, for me, for like a kind of black metal noob, I thought this is fucking banging. Like this is so good. Like it's just and there's also another band called it's either Wano or Wano. I think it's probably Wano. WWANO. They released a song called Bajo Terra. Again, another band I've featured on the channel. They've actually released a new EP, which I'm going to be doing a reaction video for this weekend, because I've been I'll get into that. That's a separate thing, but they are they're my two favorite modern black metal bands, but Wano are absolutely fantastic, and the music video for Bajo Terra is fucking great as well. Like proper hoodied and like black candles everywhere and tons of skulls and shit. It's like really fucking good stuff.
That's what I'm missing. I'm just missing all the skulls. I had candles in my last one, just missing all the skulls.
Yeah. Let me just make sure that I'm actually that is the right band that I'm talking about. But I'll put it in the description of the video. It doesn't matter. But yeah, two really, really good bands. Like definitely check them out. There's another band as well called Chest Crush. They are like a combination of death metal, black metal, and sludge. Very grimy, very gravelly, very nasty.
exactly like Primitive Man, like the slowness and the fucking just you can feel that shit on your face with how heavy they get.
Yeah, exactly. It's got the music's almost got like a texture to it when you're listening to it. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
sludge really just makes a difference to the songs and everything.
yeah,
A death black metal band. I don't like Behemoth for a variety of different
yeah.
reasons, but it just comes down to the musicians personally. But if you want Blasphemy, I go to Behemoth. Um, Another band that I checked out that's like bestial as fuck. I mentioned them on my profile on Facebook. It was Weregoat, and they literally
Where
sing about perversion and just a bunch of fucked up blasphemy, dude. That I don't even think I could probably put in Slaughter the False Prophet. Like those guys, like their imagery is bugged up, but they are so bestial as fuck, dude. They're crazy, especially the
go?
music. Dude. Death
Oh,
metal and
love it.
black metal.
Like it. Where go? Yeah, nice. I'm putting these things into my phone because I'm really really bad at remembering shit. But I'm definitely going to check out Leviathan on the on the strength of your recommendation. Yeah, that's what I was going to say before. I've been trying some different stuff on the channel. I've been spending hours on the weekend just doing research for a bunch of different bands and then just going reaction video, reaction video, reaction video. So then it means that I don't have to take the time through the week. I can just press the upload button, write the description, so on and so forth. It just makes a lot more sense in my life. And that's why I mean, like today, I posted a reaction video, I did a shout out video, and I'm going to put a bunch of clips up on my story from like 4 or 5 different bands. I'm trying to get as much output out like every day like as I can, and doing a bunch of reaction videos in one day I can just get Emma to take the kids out, I've got the house to myself type thing. But trying to do one reaction video every day, getting the mic set up, the camera, bloody fucking blah, the kids come through the door and ruin it, so on and so forth. So it's working out, a lot better.
I know that feeling there.
Yeah.
Hell, I got 2 dogs that were banging on the wall over there, and I'm like wondering, oh shit, did that come into the stream? I hope not.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Nah, dude, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's good.
Yeah. Um, shall we talk about games? Shall we talk about gaming?
Oh yes. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while now.
Yeah, let's talk about gaming. So just so we keep the conversation nice and flowy, we might go over a couple of subjects that we did in the last video, but it's my podcast. I'll do what the fuck I like.
Well,
Um, your early, how did you get into gaming? Your first games you liked, blah blah blah. The
I believe we
microphone is
spoke
yours.
about this.
Yeah,
My first game ever was when my dad introduced me to the Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64.
yeah,
My One of my favorite games of all time. If I ever get a Nintendo 64 again, I will go back to like my grandma's house in El Paso just to get the cartridge and play Ocarina of Time again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Similar story for me. It wasn't like the first game I ever tried, but yeah, it stands up. It still looks good. It still looks good now. You don't even have to play the remake for it to look good. The music's still great. Everything is everything is spot on. What games are you playing right now?
Uh, since no like new games caught my attention except for Elden Ring, currently I'm playing all the Dark Souls series, For Honor, which was like an online game. If I feel like fucking somebody up online in a video
Mhm.
game, I could just go play fucking For Honor, and Elden Ring. Because like recently, there's barely been any like I guess you could say good games, like games that don't require you to pay to win or don't have a
Yeah,
bullshit paywall or are actually a fucking game. They have content in there and stuff you could do, like Ocarina of Time did. The reason why Ocarina of Time actually did good was because of how much content was in there for such a fucking big ass small game.
yeah, big ass small game. Yeah, no, it's the right way to put it, man. Yeah, there was that was one of the things that I liked about Ocarina of Time the most is that you could just go from A to B and play the game, save the princess, kill the bad guy. Everyone lives happily ever after. But all the side stuff, like that, could take you just as long as the main game. You know what I mean? Like catching the loach, collecting all the sculptulas, doing all that type of shit. Like it was absolutely cram packed with content, and yeah.
And the Skulltulas, like all the side quests, especially the Skulltula one, they give you like a secret item you could use in your main quest to help you out exponentially more.
Yeah.
Like the Zelda series is so fucking awesome, but just like Nintendo, I don't know, like my only, I guess, complaint was the Wii series Zelda. Like the Zelda on the Wii. That one was fucking garbage, I'm gonna be honest.
Was that the Wind Waker?
No, that one was Skyward Sword. The Wind Waker and the Twilight Princess, which is a personal favorite of mine, is on the GameCube and the Wii. But on the Wii, the reason why I liked it on the Wii especially is you can hook up your GameCube controller onto the Wii. That's why I loved it.
Those GameCube controllers are so strange, though. Like, they're just, you look at them and you think, what is this? This is fucking insanity.
Nowadays you are looking at it like, the fuck are all these buttons here? You know, and but the Wii, I argue, is worse. Especially the sensors not picking up everything. It was like the fucking Xbox Kinect when the Kinect first came out. Couldn't pick up nothing. God, the Kinect.
The marketing team for the Kinect, they did a great job. They had everyone convinced, like, oh my god, the hype.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, dude.
And then you tried it, and it was just it was. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like the thing is as well is that, like, there was some games on the Wii where the motion, where the motion sensors, they worked really, really well. Like on-rail shooting games, like the new House of the Dead they did for the Wii. That was fun as fuck.
But okay, this is like from me personally, is that we, back in Colorado where I lived with the Wii, we didn't have a lot of money. We had like a little bit of money to get a couple games. The game that I think fucked me up the most when it came to the Wii was a game called Godzilla Unleashed. I mean, do you like kaijus? Do you like big monsters? That fucking game, I wanted to play it for a while, and now that when I finally got a copy of it and I tried playing it, I was getting pissed off because Godzilla wasn't moving the way he should, or the other monsters I'd play as weren't moving the way they should, and it was like I was thinking, man, this is a big scam. Why is everybody on YouTube playing it like a pro, and I'm playing it like it sucks, and I'm using the damn controls like it says about me to?
Yeah, it was. There was definitely there was some fun shit like the House of the Dead Overkill. That's a real hidden gem of a game for me, because the dialogue was like totally X-rated between the characters. They were talking shit to each other. They were like dropping F-bombs the whole way through it. Thought it was a really interesting way to do it, and like actually shooting with the Wii controller, the Wii sensor, that worked really, really good. But they tried to do, like, I remember there was like a flight game where you had to kind of hold the remote and kind of go that.
I think I know which one you're talking about. That game, no.
There was a bunch of them. There was a bunch of them. Pick any. It doesn't really matter. It was fucking impossible.
Wait, wasn't there one on fucking Wii Sports? I think. I think, I'm not sure, but
that might have been on this. Yeah, that might have been on Wii Sports Resort. That was the second one, I think. I think there. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it seems like such a good idea. You've just got the plane in your hand, and you're trying to, like, that should work. It didn't fucking work, like, at all. No, it was absolutely impossible. You just, you couldn't do shit with it, like, But again, though, the Kinect was the worst, which is quite incredible, really, when you think about it. But man, it just didn't work.
The Kinect was terrible, dude.
Yeah.
Man, I will never understand why they thought of that as a good idea or like continued it. Even I mean, hell, even though the Kinect had so many terrible reviews, they tried to push it into the Xbox One. They tried to when it
Jesus.
first came out, the beginning marketing.
Yeah, it's just not going to work. You mentioned Dark Souls.
Yes,
Dark Souls 1 is without a doubt one of my favorite games of all time.
love Dark Souls. Dark Souls is the best, but Dark Souls 2, we don't talk about that one though. That one's terrible.
Yeah, I haven't played that one.
I mean,
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say is if you want to play it, proceed at your own peril. You're not gonna like it. I mean, because like if you look at the advertising and the marketing for it, completely changed. Like and then the whole like marketing greed of like the Scholar of the First Sin edition. I mean, you can obviously tell it was worked on by a different team who
Right.
clearly didn't know what they were doing. I mean, there are some good aspects to Dark Souls too. Like, I mean, the armor sets, they were awesome in that game.
Okay.
I mean, dare I say they were better than they were in Dark Souls, dare I say.
Right.
But the game itself is unfinished and broken. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I've heard plenty of bad things about it. Yeah, I think I mean, where do you even start with Dark Souls? I think the thing that I love most about it was the world, how it was all connected.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just stage 1, stage 2, boss, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Like if you started the game as a thief, you got the master key or whatever it was called. I think it was called the master key. You unlock all the doors and you could literally do a tour of the entire first section of the game if you knew where you were going. That Blight Town leads into this, leads into the Drakes, leads into this place. They didn't
Oh,
do that.
Oh, I knew that place. Blighttown was terrible. Oh my god, man. I
Oh my
can't
god.
tell you which one's worse. The swamp area from Bloodborne or fucking Blighttown? No, Blighttown's worse. Blighttown is way worse.
It's it's just that type of connected world is just so
Yeah.
much more interesting than what they did in Dark Souls 3. I like Dark Souls 3. I played it a lot. I streamed it a lot, but it was
Yeah,
just go through the door,
but it
next
was
area, go through the
a
door.
level. Yeah, like instead of like having it interconnected, it has this cut scene of like either you go fall asleep and open a door, or a two of the demon things from Dark Souls 1 carry you to the other place, or
Mhm.
something like that. It's something I didn't particularly like, and that's yeah. The only place I did like it though was Bloodborne. And the reason why and why I accepted in Bloodborne is because Bloodborne is a Lovecraftian game where
Yeah.
you delve into nightmarish dimensions and stuff. I wanted to like make a band off of Lovecraft's work, but I don't know how I could ever make something like that, especially like to portray the nihilistic tones and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
There's like there's just like there's no map in Dark Souls 1. You're plonked right there, Fire Shrine, and then it's
yep.
like off you go. Good luck, and then it's like, oh, I took a left and I got killed by a skeleton. Boom, straight back, and it was just there was just all these moments that will just stick with me forever. Like the first time you see a mimic chest, you go up to
Oh
it,
my.
like it's just one of the funniest things. I'll briefly explain it for people that don't know, that haven't played Dark Souls. So for tens of hours in Dark Souls, you're just opening chests, typical Dungeons and Dragons stuff. You're absolutely fine, and then out of nowhere, you open a chest, and the thing just oomph and just eats you, and you die. It sums up Dark Souls to a T. It's like, no, oh no, you're not safe anywhere. Even opening a chest, this game will fuck you up. And I was like, I was blown away by that. Blown away.
I'm surprised Elden Ring didn't introduce that. If you played Elden Ring yet,
I haven't played Elden Ring yet. No,
you
no.
you should. It is amazing. Although the content can get repetitive after a while,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why is because From Software had limited like stock budget and they only had to use like a select animations. The game itself is beautifully done. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I think personally, in my opinion, it's game of the year. In my book, it's game of the year.
Yeah.
Not
I was watching some of the early gameplay footage. You know, they were talking about Elden Ring, and I was thinking, this is not going to live up to the hype. They're promising way too much. An open world Dark Souls game, all these bosses are just going to fly in when you're just fucking riding around on horseback, you know. And then after it got released, I read some reviews, and I was like, oh shit, they did what they said they were going to do. They made a fucking gigantic open world Dark Souls game, and I was like, wow, I got to play this. Like, I got to play this at some point. It looks absolutely incredible, and I will. I will play it when I find the time.
I really like one thing I loved about the Dark Souls games is the melancholic vibe of it. Like
Yeah,
it was Dark Souls originally was a melancholic world where everything was trying to kill you, and Miyazaki was trying to kill you in creative ways and stuff. Elden Ring, however, it's slightly uplifting, but then there are some fucking dark places that really get you thinking about why the Golden Order did what they did. I don't want to spoil it for you, but you should
yeah,
try the Madness ending. And once you like proceed through that story, uh, it gets fucking nihilistic as shit, dude.
yeah.
Like it makes you be like, you know what? Let's fucking destroy the world. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
spoil it. But
no. It's on my it's on my to do list for sure. That was another thing that I really liked about Dark Souls, where it was you were the chosen one. You know, you were like, you know, you had some significance, but all of the main things that happened in the world had already happened, and you were kind of just picking through the rubble at the end of it. Like it was just like, you know, and like the fact that you had to piece together the story based on item descriptions, like that's amazing to me. Like you just have to
yeah,
read
I
the
love
details
that.
of like, yeah, like I love that type of storytelling, but it was all talking about this happened, that happened, this happened, and you're like, oh right, okay, so instead of being the centerpiece in a massive war, you're sifting through the debris. You know, it's like,
Pretty.
fucking A. I love it. Love it.
So I believe the war was between the archgods and the dragons. I believe.
Yeah.
Well, that was like, but the reason why the world's gone to shit is because Gwyn used his soul to rekindle the flame, and the flame itself made the whole world except for the undead go mad and like territorial and stuff. I believe.
Yeah, no,
Or at least the story.
you're absolutely correct. I mean, but they just thought of everything in Dark Souls, because they even made sense of being able to die and come back to life. Like, because that's just something that happens in games, and there's not really any kind of like canonical explanation for it. But in Dark Souls, it was like, yeah, that's actually what happens in this world. You can die,
Yeah.
but you do come back. There's a reason for it. Like everything in that game was just so deliberate and well thought out. It was just, yeah, stunning.
That's why one of the best games to come out in like years. Even though like it's not big and massive, it was like one of the best games to have ever come out because of how creative it was.
Mm-hmm.
But most games nowadays, I mean, in my opinion, I just don't like most of them
No,
because
me
they're
neither.
boring or they lack content. Or hell, some of them, like that new Saints Row game, tried to shove a political shit view down your throat throughout most of the game. And yeah, most of the games, like I said, nowadays they're not a Dark Souls. They're not like a PlayStation 2 Crash Bandicoot game. They're
Yeah.
not like a lot of those games back then. Back then, the games were like big and they made you hyped for them. Like the devs actually cared about what they can do, but ever since microtransactions came in and pay to win came in and gamers became idiots and the
Yeah.
casuals became idiots and started buying all that shit, basically letting them think, oh, let's put out a half half-assed shit product, they will buy it up like fucking sheep. I mean, explain Cyberpunk 2077. That's why
Dude,
I'm like skeptical.
I was literally just going to say that game was some of the compilations, like the YouTube compilations of people would leave a building and none of the world would be spawned in. It would just be a couple of the assets and the characters. It's like you can't charge full price for a game like that. Like it's just fucking it's so unethical.
What fucks me up is that company, CD Projekt Red, had no issues before. The Witcher, amazing game, and all their series were amazing games. But y'all were like spending almost 10 plus years on one game. How do you mess up that bad? Like, you can't just delay it for like a month just to test it, make sure everything's running good, or make sure the world's more lively. Because I think what really fucked them up on that project is that they wanted to like make a nearly realistic world, but just with the limitations of such a console, it's almost impossible, almost.
Completely,
Unless we're
yeah, completely agree. Yeah, and yeah. You do have to kind of ask yourself, like, what the fuck were you guys doing for all of
yeah,
that
what the fuck
time?
are you releasing it in that state? Like, y'all should have had playtesters, and the fact that you're like, oh yeah, go ahead, go release it. Like, the fuck? Come on now.
Yeah,
And
it was
honestly,
pretty insane.
honestly, in my opinion, they deserved all the shit they got because they
Oh yeah,
promised everybody a product. Thankfully, I didn't pre-order it. I was
yeah,
almost tempted to one day because I saw the whole Keanu Reeves thing, but then I'm like, it's just a damn celebrity. But
yeah,
the thing is, like, I noticed they changed a ton of content in the game itself because when you play the game at a fixed, semi-fixed status, after like the second level, it's like you're playing a different game, and that's when the whole Keanu Reeves guy gets introduced, and he's
right.
get talked about throughout the whole game. It's stupid.
Yeah, there was that's what they did with Warcraft 3 Reforged. I loved the original Warcraft game, like like the real-time strategy game. I absolutely
Hmm.
loved that and I was so excited for Reforged, and then I saw people streaming it on the day it released and there was like literally just big green squares that were supposed to be houses or trees and stuff like that, just literally just right there, and I'm like, that's that's insane to me that they would even release it. Like, just fix the fucking problems, and then like I just have no idea. I have no idea what goes through the people's heads when they release games in that state. I don't
Like,
understand it.
my thing is, what happened to developers that actually cared about their games? The only developer that cares about their games, quote unquote, is like From Software with the Dark Souls and
Yeah,
Elden Ring. As long as you know Miyazaki's working on it, because Dark Souls 2 was a fucking fuck up. It was a piece of shit. I mean, you can play it. I mean, I'm not going to stop you, but I'm just going to say proceed at your own peril.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I don't. Yeah, I really, really don't understand it, and it's there's other areas in life, other fields, where you just would not be able to get away with that. Like if you were designing a car and you said this car
Oh,
is going to have this and this and this and this and this, and then you released it and you went, yeah, it doesn't have any of those, but just buy it anyway. That would just be career suicide. Your company would just be gone. No one, you
yeah,
wouldn't get
nobody
away with
would buy
that.
from you. Sales would go down and everything. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
but
not going
in
to lie.
gaming,
I'm really not shocked if CD Projekt Red or any of these companies' sales goes down after they do that, because Cyberpunk was such a hugely hyped game. Like over 10 years, a realistic cyberpunk dystopian world
yeah,
where you could role play as whatever you want, hell, you could become a human at one point and then become a full atom smasher. You know who that character is, right?
I don't,
Uh,
unfortunately, no.
oh, gigantic cyborg death machine by the
Oh,
end of the
beautiful.
game.
I love it.
And they failed that. Like, how? Why? 10 years.
10 years. I mean, what? Yeah, what the fuck were they doing? Yeah, it reminds me of that game No Man's Sky that came
Oh
out.
god. Look, that game it got fixed over time, So yeah, I guess I could give it leeway, but like, if you're making a product, get it fucking finished
Yeah.
first before releasing it.
I mean, for me, it wasn't even that. It was the fact that the guy that was doing, like, the whole, the guy that created it and was going on, like, all these different talk shows and all that. He literally just told lies. Like, it wasn't even the fact that it was unfinished. He said, "Yeah, it's multiplayer. You can play online
Well,
with people." Like, no, and it's just a lie, just a literal lie. Like, there
yeah,
was no,
literally.
yeah, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, how is this guy not, like, like, how is he not being sued for that?
Oh no, he got torched. He got torched right after No Man's Sky came out. Like, dude, I have never seen so many fucking people pissed off at him.
I've never in terms of the hype that game had and how badly it crashed and burned when it was released. It was a ridiculous fall. Yeah, considering what it promised. And like you said, they did fix it, and I think it's actually okay now to play. Like, it's not amazing, but like,
Yeah.
it's decent. But that's
Like
what they should
the
have fucking
wildlife
done in the
is
first place.
better, more wildlife. It doesn't feel like the length of an ocean, but the depth of a puddle now. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of it because like I haven't played it myself. I refuse to play that after being lied to about it.
Oh, same. It was on it's on Xbox Game Pass, and Emma was like, "Oh, should we give it a try?" And I was like, "Well, obviously, I don't control you, but I don't think we should give those motherfuckers the time of day because they were just so dishonest about how they made the game." I'm like, I'm not even going to play it, even if people are saying it's the best game of all time, just on principle. I'm not playing it. It's as simple as
On
that.
principle. Yeah, like really, why? Like I said, I mean, it baffles my mind that developers would release an unfinished product and expect everybody to be okay with it. I mean, most recently, Halo Infinite, that game is unfinished as fuck, from what I heard.
Oh, is it really? Haven't played it.
But people were like praising it to the sun, and I'm like, it's you. I hate to sound like elitist, but I'm sitting here like, it's you casuals that are ruining this industry.
Yep. 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 No, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. I mean, we should probably talk about the whole loot box controversy, I guess, because that gets into kind of like gambling and shit like that. Like that was, yeah, that was kind of that was kind of that was wild. So I'll just give a little bit of backstory on exactly what loot boxes are for people that don't game. So, excuse me. So, loot boxes are basically they're things you can earn in game. You can pay for them, and they will have a random reward within them, and you don't know what the reward's going to be. And the drop rates for some of the items that you want are really, really low.
Yep.
And and it was it Star Wars Battlefront that where a
Yeah.
lot of the controversy came from. Yeah.
Yeah. Battlefront
Yeah.
2, to be specific. Because, like, everybody was hyping that game up for some fucking retarded reason, even though EA was the guys behind it. Again, you casuals are idiots. And EA just dropped full pay to win. It was fully pay to win. There was no equal challenge in there. The people who paid like hundreds of dollars played as like fucking Darth Vader against a stormtrooper, easily with like 1,000 health against 200 health. The Darth Vader would annihilate you with like one hit.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. Yeah. Literally. And the most fucked up thing about loot boxes for me is that it's literal gambling. Like, no
Yes.
matter how, like, literal gambling, and it's illegal. Not only is it illegal, but it's also unethical to promote gambling to children that are going to play these games. And it's literally what they're doing. It is gambling, and they're just still kind of like getting. They're still just kind of just getting away with it, and it's fucked up.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say they're getting away with it as big now, because nowadays I haven't seen any loot boxes in games. I've seen microtransactions, but no loot boxes. But I would say microtransactions are kind of technically loot boxing because, like, loot boxes, you even had to pay for those sometimes.
That's true. That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. I think microtransactions should be like banned in video games. Like, I'm the type of gamer that thinks just play the fucking game and you'll get it. Like, yeah, go just play the game.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. I'm with you. I mean, I think microtransactions, they can be done in a decent way. Like, because I play quite a bit of StarCraft 2, and they introduced microtransactions into their game, but it was so you could just reskin some of your Marines. Your Marines just had a Union Jack on them or something. Like, that's no competitive advantage. So I'm okay with that. But microtransactions where it's like, yeah, my family has disposable income and I'm going to shit on you because they were able to spend what I was able to pay, $100. And, and even worse than that, like when it...
Like,
sorry, go on.
I think what you're saying here is like the microtransactions that like reskin your character or make your character look a different way, or just gives you like other stuff, just doesn't give you a competitive like advantage. Because like For Honor, if you play it, it's all about skill at the end of the day and how good you are at parrying and stuff, timing and stuff. I mean, that's why I consider it one of my favorite online games, because it's like Dark Souls. Like, it takes skill.
Yeah.
The whole microtransaction part about it, though, is that it's mostly like cosmetic. Like, you can get 10,000 steel for $10 just to change like the metal parts of like your armor to gold or pink or look whatever crazy thing you're gonna make. And the fact that it's all based on like actual knights from back then is what makes it fucking awesome, in my opinion.
I've played a little bit of For Honor. I like it. I like it a lot. And you're right. It is like Dark Souls. It's like actually having the skill. That's how you will win encounters.
We should play it together.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should, man. We should. I'm super. I'm definitely an introvert. Like I enjoy people's company, but like it's difficult for me to keep everything going. So I'm super bad for actually getting together with people and playing. But at some point we should play some games together. Yeah.
RDG Promotions XSTFP Slaughter the False Prophet. Let's play it together.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Yeah.
Why don't we make a whole competition, Battle of the Bands for Honor style?
Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. Entrepreneur over here. There was a game called Paladins that I used to play. It's kind of like Overwatch, but it's a little bit more customizable, and it's a lot of fun, but it's a free game. But you don't have all the champions unlocked at the beginning. And the equivalent for that, for me, would be buying the new Mortal Kombat or the new Street Fighter, and 75% of the characters you can't play unless you grind for fucking days or you pay extra money to get it. That's what they did in Paladins. You have to actually save up coins or actually spend real life money to play this character, and I'm like, that's wrong. That's seriously, that's fucked. That's what League of Legends does as well. You don't get all the champions immediately, and I'm like, come on, guys, what the fuck,
Why even have a fucking game?
Yeah,
I mean, that's my question. Why even have a game? Well, For Honor does that. I mean, I understand, because like playing as a new character is like playing a different way how to play. It's like each character is a different way how to play. But see how For Honor does it in a way I defend it is because when you're purchasing a character in that game, you're purchasing, I mean, in a way, a different way of how to play the game.
Yeah.
You could still go to the training area and play as that character you haven't bought yet.
Yeah.
Just so you'll know if you'll like it, which is why I think the whole paying for a new Japanese character or the Chinese character, the Shaolin, I believe. That's one of the new ones that I've recently bought. I think that's worth it because the training area tells you, hey, well, you can come here and train that character and see if you like the moveset, if it's good and quick for you or not. That's why if you test that character, I think honestly that microtransaction is acceptable. If you
Yeah.
test it first and like see if you like it and if you buy it, like like I said, my example for Honor.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. I mean, obviously, like it's 2022. There's gonna be microtransactions. There's gonna be questionable ways to upgrade your character to unlock, like, next level of Viking, or all that type of stuff. Like that's there. That's just kind of progression. I'm okay with that. Like that's like that's fine. But when games literally just lock over like half of the game immediately, and they call it a free game, like it's like no, just be honest. Like, because you can pay 20.
Just be honest. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like like in Paladins, you can pay a one-off payment of 25 pounds, dollars, whatever, and you get access to all of the champions and all the future champions as well, right? That's fine, but just be honest about that, and just say that to people. Just say this game is this amount of money and this is what you get. But don't try and make it free. It's like that card game Hearthstone. It's like, yeah, it's free to play, but good luck actually being competitive until you've spent a lot of fucking money on it. It's like, well, decide if it's a free game or not.
I'm sitting here like there was a fighting game back then. Killer Instinct, I believe, was what it was called. It
Yes.
was like
Yeah.
an Xbox exclusive. I wanted to play Killer Instinct because, like, if you know me, I like dinosaurs, dragons, and shit like that. And when I saw the trailer for Riptor, I was like, "Oh, sick! I get to. I'm a go get him." And then I hopped on it, and then I noticed only one character was in there, and I was like, "What the fuck? What is this shit?" Oh, free game, but all the fucking characters are locked except for one, and it's the shitty one. And I'm sitting here like, why even put it for fucking free when you could just market it? And hey, old school OG Killer Instinct fans, because Killer Instinct was like an old franchise back then, almost to
Yep.
the Nintendo 64, you'd still be getting money. Like, why do it that way? That is like, oh, that is so stupid, dude.
It's
Will
yeah.
never understand. I will never understand that in gaming.
It's so frustrating. Have you heard of a 2D fighting game called Primal Rage?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, it just when you mentioned dinosaurs and shit, that game is fucking fantastic for that. Like, I love it.
Primal Rage. Oh my god. That game, I remember playing it like in the arcade when I was like little. I was in Colorado. I went to Skateland just so I could go play Primal Rage
Yeah,
because they had like big giant Primal Rage machine in the corner, and you could play as T-Rex, all dinosaurs and shit, fight each other. It was awesome. I loved it.
yeah, and you could eat the villagers in the background and stuff like that, and like the giant
Little
King Kong dude like spewed at you for his projectile move and stuff. I was just, oh, this is fucking perfect.
man, it's little details like that that make the game a lot better. When you actually include like details and like other stuff like that, make it more lively. Even though I know your game's fake and all,
Mm,
it's just little details and extra content that make it good.
yeah.
Content's king. I said that I believe in like our first video, but I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah.
Content is king.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right. You're 100% right. Yeah. Going back to the kind of casuals ruining the video game industry. You're not wrong. Like, you're not wrong at all, because how many times are these people going to get burnt by the same, which is basically a scam? They're gonna
Yeah,
market this game, and these idiots are gonna go out and shell out like $75 or something for this new game, then complain about the fact that it's not finished. They'll finish it, and then 2-3 years later, they'll just shit out the same unfinished thing, and people just fucking eat it up. And it's like, stop
no,
supporting games like this.
it's like 2K's Madden all of the Call of Duties since Black Ops, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake. They've done the same damn thing, and I keep telling people, don't don't let them have your money. Like, you want them to change, you want them to actually improve, don't give them your money. And I promise you they will.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, completely agree. All you got to do, just because that's what it comes down to with these people. They're trying to make money. I understand that everyone's trying to make money. You need to put, you need to feed your family and stuff. But there's a fucking limit, you know.
But I'm not gonna lie. What do you think of GTA 5 and the online feature for that game, particularly?
I love GTA 5. I love the fact that it was three different stories. You know, I love I love the GTA games. I'm a big fan. I don't know too much about the online part of it. I know a lot of people speak really really highly of it, but I don't know if there's any kind of like predatory pay to win things in there or anything. But I'm guessing you've got some thoughts on it.
What's crazy is that the fact that I mean I've seen a lot of people complaining about it, and mostly a lot of people complaining that they haven't made a GTA 6 and it's been over like I believe 10 years.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But my thing is then why do you keep making them milk you for your money? Because they were surviving off of GTA 5 online for 10 years
Yeah.
before now just making an announcement about GTA 6, which apparently I heard is about to be about Bonnie and Clyde, the crime couple back then,
Whoa,
from what I heard.
that could be
Which
interesting.
yeah, that will be interesting, especially considering that that was like based on real life and it had a lot of real life consequences. That was fucked. Honestly, I hope it's a success.
Yeah, but no, me too. I mean, going back to the whole kind of like woke SJW thing, like again, I try not to make this a political podcast, but this shit is everywhere. You're kind of always worried that a game's going to be really good, but they're going to try and ram something down your throat about ideology. Like I'm always like, because like when you're saying Bonnie and Clyde and GTA 6, I'm like, yes, but then at the back of my head, I'm going, but are they just going to talk about the patriarchy? Are they just going to try and talk about is that going to be the central theme of the game? Because I don't want to say it would completely ruin it for me, but it would put me off because
I
I'm
mean,
fed
I'm
up,
telling
you
you,
know.
if you play Saints Row 2, 3, and 4, I guarantee you you're not going to like that new game. That
Right.
new game is not any better because, like, I really wanted to like that fucking game, but besides the game just being shit on itself, the
Yeah.
story is shit, the fucking characters are shit, the SJW propaganda is through the roof in that fucking game, and I'm sitting here like, why?
Yeah. Just
When Saints Row was known to be literally anti SJW and literally full of edgy jokes, mind you, and was a gangster game. Like they were like killers back then. They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I played a little bit of. I think it was Saints Row 1 or 2. I played it with I played it with Josh, and I thought it was great. I really really thought it was great. I loved the feel of it. Loved the atmosphere, everything. You know, but yeah, it's just it's not even that like it's SJW stuff that's popping up in games. It's just any kind of forced political shit just annoys me. It's like that's not why I'm playing games. I don't care about your political views. If I want to do that, I'll go listen to a political podcast. I just want to fucking shoot some people in the face and
Exactly.
like that's what I want to do. I don't want to be lectured at over this. Even if I agreed with the message, it's like, that's not why I'm
Well, I
here.
mean, I'm here for the content. I'm not here for whatever message you're sending me.
Yeah, yeah, I don't dig it. I heard that because I loved The Last of Us. The Last of Us was an amazing game. I really really enjoyed it. But I read
Yeah.
that the SJW stuff is pretty forced in the second game.
Oh, the second
Uh,
one, yeah, it was. It was,
yeah,
and not to mention, if you like Joel, oh, don't worry, they bastardized Joel in that one. They killed him off, and they disrespect him and his death, trying to make him look like the bad guy for saving Ellie in the first game.
yeah,
But and that's the developers themselves trying to make him look like the bad guy, not just for some story thing, but because they don't like Joel. And I'm
yeah,
sitting here like, dude, if you were a father, right? you would logically do that for your daughter.
Of course you
And
would, yeah.
Joel saw Ellie as a daughter figure in the game. So more than likely, if that was you, you would have done it. I'm sorry. That's just being a moral human being. You would have done it.
Mm.
I would have done it if that was my daughter in that situation.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't give a fuck if she was to be sacrificed to save the human race. I'd say fuck you. I still want to keep my daughter with me. Fuck
Yeah, I
that
mean,
shit.
that's what I liked about The Last of Us, where it was like it wasn't like it was quote unquote bad what Joel did, but at the same time you understand it. Like
I mean,
it's complex. It's complex characters. It's like it's ethically gray. You're not quite sure how you
yeah,
feel about the actions you're doing. That's what made the game interesting.
that's called good writing, and
Yes.
most media nowadays suck at that nowadays, which
Yeah.
is terrible.
Yeah, they do, man. They do. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it just. Yeah, it puts me. It puts me off in a. It puts me off in a big way. Yeah, it pops up. It pops up a lot. Um, Not to put you on the spot, but
Hmm.
do you have? I'm just looking. I'm just looking at the time, dude. Dude, must say it's an absolute fucking pleasure speaking to you, dude. Because that's almost 2 hours. Again, like it just. The time flies off, man. Like it really does.
I mean,
Um.
because to be honest, the reason why I'm willing to stay longer is because I really do like your channel, and I really
Yeah.
do respect you as a content creator.
Yeah. Yeah.
The again, this goes back to our first video. The fact that you are like one of the only reactors that actually puts time into their reactions and time into your thoughts and are actually willing to give a full review of the content we are making, honestly, boosts my heart. Like, it really makes me happy, and it makes me a lot more excited to see your reviews other than the reactors that just flip their camera
Yeah.
all around like this, act all like they're doing a mosh pit, but in reality they're just trying to get views and clicks and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Names, but they know who they are.
oh,
So
they know.
just know
Oh,
that.
yeah, no, they know who they are. They know who they are. Yeah, that's why I wanted to try and do something a little bit different. But, yeah, not to put you on the spot, but like we're gonna be wrapping this up reasonably soon. Do you have any
Yeah.
question? Do you have any questions for me? Is there anything you wanted to ask? Anything? My opinion on anything? I realize I probably should have said that before we went live, but if you have anything, fire away, and then I guess we will
Ah,
wrap it up.
well, not at the moment, actually, believe it or not, because like I think we've covered pretty much everything, especially like regards to you and me, like the black metal scene, what we think of it, elitism, the entirety of like the my band, the entirety of your channel, and you possibly getting into total deathcore, which hey, I'm proud of you by the way,
Yeah, thank you.
and lots of impersonal stuff. I mean, between
Yeah,
us, and fuck, I admitted that my daughter died on here, which hurts, but you know, yeah, I got nothing to say. I'm
yeah.
really stoked about this interview.
Yeah, no, same man, same. Yeah, I need to start. I need to start asking people beforehand if they have any questions. I guess is yeah, it would be a little bit smoother. But yeah, yeah. The fact that you talked about some personal difficult stuff there, man, that was my heart broke for you. Like it's extremely
Mhm.
fucked up what you went through, but the fact that you felt comfortable enough here to share it with me and my audience, that means a lot. So
I
thank
mean,
you.
you're one of like the few people like that I see on YouTube that I genuinely do respect. I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, you're different from everybody. I don't see why you don't get views. But the reason why is because you're different, and people nowadays they just don't like different, which is why it just mind boggles me why people just don't try to get out of your comfort zone. Like actually like look at music and actually like try to use a critical mind whenever it comes to music instead of flipping the camera around or hitting some fake mannequin in the back. It's just
Yeah, no, no, thank you, dude. I mean, it's um it's difficult to start the snowball process. You know what I mean? You start on tens and then hundreds and thousands of views and stuff like that. But if I keep plugging away at it, if I don't, if I consistently produce, like content, which I'm doing, I keep the quality high, which I would have to leave that in everyone else's judgment, but I would say the feedback has been pretty good.
You
Eventually,
know,
I'll break through. It's as simple as that, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here in 5 years time, 10 years time. So eventually it'll break through. But I got plenty of plans for other stuff as well. So yeah.
don't know if you ever saw my YouTube channel, but do you notice my subscriber count? I have like almost 800 subscribers, and
That's
that's
good, man.
simply because like I did like 4 years of grinding on YouTube.
Hmm.
That was just 4 years of just doing YouTube. This was back when I was a cringy ass middle schooler. We weren't even near mature to where we are now. I was
Yeah,
stupid, cringy, and I did the most terrible fucking content in the world. I promise you.
yeah, no, everyone looks back at their old content and thinks, "Oh my God, what was I thinking?" Because I've been doing this since I didn't even start reaction videos. I was just doing mini reviews and shout out videos on Instagram. But the first one I did was actually the 1st of March 2020. So that's how long I've been
Really?
in this game for, and I am totally happy with where I'm at, because instead of charging people for reaction videos and then not supporting the bands afterwards and so on and so forth, I've actually made friendships. I have connections. Like you're now a friend. I know the guys at the head of the traitor. I know people all around the world. So when people are watching my content, it's a lot of bands, a lot of producers, a lot of musicians. That's a
You
different
see,
audience than just people that just want to see me jump up and punch a hole in the wall or something.
exactly. That right there is why I respect you, is because unlike them, you're genuine and
Yeah.
you actually have a fucking heart for the metal scene. And that's why I wholeheartedly respect you and I see no problem in sharing a little personal shit with you.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's what I'm going for. I think there's definitely more of a demand for longer, slower paced videos. I think people are starting to get away from the kind of diving around and getting like the old kind of over the top eccentric YouTube personality thing. Like I think long form conversations such as this, I think they're becoming a bit more popular. Like so, I think hopefully, I don't know, hopefully there are other people doing like stuff that's similar to mine, taking their time, going into a bit more detail, but I haven't seen any yet. So, maybe they are out there and I just, because their channel's really small, I haven't found them yet, but.
A YouTube channel, Orion, I think that's his name.
Okay.
He did somewhat of a good job. He really did try to put his thoughts into Rituals of Sin, I believe
Mm-hmm.
was the song, which is a good plus. But what I fucking adore about you is that you go in depth. Like you talk about what you think the inspirations were and how you could see this and that, and if anything, how I could improve the track. Like that guitar solo in Desecration that you didn't like, but somewhat liked.
Yeah.
I mean, we plan to improve like by if anything, taking guitars from like black metal and inspiring them more because we want to actually be blackened deathcore, you know?
Yeah. Just realized it's getting a little bit dark in here. Yeah. Just a little thing that goes towards that just before we wrap up. The bass player from Belvebooth, Dakota, he sent me a couple of like early versions of one of their tracks. I think it was Wrath, like before it was released, and I sent a couple of little voice messages back, just like just giving some suggestions and all that type of stuff. And he was so thankful, and the main reason is because people, a lot of the time, people just tell him exactly what he wants to hear. That's all they do. but I was able to actually listen to it and provide some feedback, and I do that with other bands, and that's an honor to me because I love this music, and I actually have like an opinion that's people actually consider now. That's mind blowing to me. I love it.
Just know that, hey, Slaughter the False Prophet, they endorse you. We endorse you.
And I endorse you guys. I endorse you guys right back. So, what's going on with Slaughter the False Prophet at the moment? I mean, obviously, you've got the EP. It's a banger. I'll put the links down to that, like underneath the video, blah blah blah, as I always do. But what can we expect next? What's going on? What you got in the pipeline?
I mean, all I'm gonna say is like expect a much more darker, grittier, and more black metal themed band. Like we actually, like I said, we want to actually like be a blackened deathcore band because one of the things that again that pisses me off about the blackened deathcore scene is that most of the bands that call themselves blackened deathcore don't even have the black metal within it, which just makes it seem pretentious to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not creating my band just solely off of the hate for it, but it's because again, my favorite band is black metal, and like I never cried to metal except for black metal, and I have a passion for black metal. I mean, I hope to one day make my own band and do my own music, but deathcore, honestly, I really love deathcore because of how crazy it is. And honestly, black metal with craziness sounds fucking amazing, which is why I made Slaughter the False Prophet what it is today.
Dude, Slaughter the False Prophet are already so grim, so dark, so gritty that I can't even imagine how you could pull that down any deeper. It's a terrifying thought, but I absolutely cannot wait to hear it.
Check out Zaster. If you think Slaughter is dark, check out Zaster, which is Leviathan's friend, by the way. Like they're friends. That's what I know. Okay. Scott Connor, Malefic from Zaster.
All right, awesome. I will check that out. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you to my amazing guest. Thank you for all the insights, all the personal stuff. It means the world to me. Obviously, down below will be links to Slaughter the False Prophet, their new EP, all the socials, all the streaming platforms. Go stream the shit out of that. Go buy some merch. You guys have got merchandise, right?
Not yet. However, my new roommate told me that she has a friend who is selling a cricket. And once the cricket is sold to me, I'm going to flat out just dedicate all my days off to making Desecration merch. Every single like outfit idea I can make for Desecration, such as the Rise of the King shirt, the Rituals of Sin shirt, and the Desecration shirt will be made. I don't know when, but merch will be made. I promise.
Well, keep an eye out for the merch, but in the meantime, Spotify, leave comments for the algorithm, follow, like all the posts, do all that YouTube shit. I'm absolutely fucking gigantic fan of Slaughter the False Prophet. I jam them every single day. I'm very fond of this handsome motherfucker sitting in front of me as well. I consider you a new but good friend. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you for fucking 4 hours or something. It's been a pleasure. I very much. I think sometime in the future we'll definitely have you back on the podcast.
Well, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's been.
You're such a pleasurable guy to talk to, which is why, again, I might send you some early tracks too once I get them made.
Dude, that means the world to me, man. And yeah, no, honestly, dude, nothing but a pleasure speaking to you, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you. And yeah, one more time. RDG, Maleficus, Slaughter the False Prophet. This has been the Roach Warren podcast, episode number 2. Take it easy, my friends. Love you all very much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.